Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Kearns. I am a Bachelor of Fine Arts student at Syracuse University with a major in acting. And for my Writing 205 project today, I thought it would be beneficial to speak on self-tapes, which I'll explain in a minute, and the importance of technology for an aspiring Bachelor of Fine Arts student. So my thesis specifically is the skill of being well-versed in technology is vital nowadays to becoming a successful theater performer as more auditions go virtual. So to break down the video a little bit, I will start by talking about some stats that I got from my friends who are also in the BFA program. I'll talk about what a self-tape is, how an audition process looks like nowadays, how you should set up a self-tape, how you edit one, and self-tape etiquette, and I'll have some of my friends along the way to explain that to you who are also in the program. So let's get into it. So to fully understand how important technology is in theater, you first have to know what a self-tape is. So if you don't already know, a self-tape is a form of audition that's a video that you submit. So it's not live, it's not in person, but it's you doing a monologue or a song that you then submit for them to review. So if you're coming into a BFA program, you're going to be doing these a lot as it's often the first step of the audition into the program. So reiterating how important technology is, I sent out a Google form to some other BFA students at Syracuse, either musical theater majors or acting majors, and I got some stats back about how important technology was for their process of auditioning for either summer jobs or internships or plays or musicals in the fall at Syracuse University. So I got 7 responses back, and of the 7, 5 people said that 100% of their auditions that they did in the 2022-23 season were virtual. So this means everywhere across the country, including the Syracuse University, but also their homes, were asking for auditions in form of a video. So you really have to know what a self-tape is, get comfortable with the idea, as technology is basically the first way and often the only way to communicate an audition nowadays. So here to talk more about that is my friend Skyla, and she's going to take you through the audition process. Okay, could you please state your name and major?
Hi, my name's Skyla Jones, and I'm an acting major.
Awesome, Skyla. So my question for you is, how does an audition process look like nowadays for a professional or aspiring professional, someone who's looking to come into a BFA?
So usually you'd start off with a pre-screen, depending on the process, and a pre-screen is basically just a round of self-tapes that you do, and then they weed you out really quickly to see if you're who they're looking for the role. And then usually they'll either be a callback for a certain role or an audition for just general stuff. And either it can be another self-tape or it can be an in-person one. Yeah.
So as you can see from my friend Skyla, if you're coming into a BFA program, it's going to be very vital to know how to do a self-tape, as all of our auditions are centered around it getting into the program, and then once you get into the program as well. So here to talk about how to set up a self-tape is my friend Victoria, who is also in the program. Could you please state your name and major?
Hi, I'm Victoria Rivard, and I'm a musical theater major.
Awesome, Victoria. So my question for you is, how do you set up a self-tape?
Yeah, so first I start with the backdrop. You want to make sure you have something that's a solid color and that won't wash you out. If you're lucky enough, sometimes you can buy a backdrop that's the color you want, or use a wall. This is a good example because it's a blank wall. But you want to make sure that whatever wall you use, you wear a shirt or an outfit that pops against it. And then you have to focus on your recording device. You can use a phone nowadays. I mean, the quality of the camera is great. So a tripod to put your phone on, and make sure you're in frame depending on what they ask for, a 3/4 shot, full body, depending on what they want. And then the lighting is also really important. You can either do a light that's facing you this way, so you're really visible. Overhead lights aren't the best, but as long as they can see you, that's what's most important. And then the sound quality. So you got to make sure once you check your video, especially if there's music, that your voice isn't getting drowned out, that it's not fuzzy. And also jewelry, I would just say, be cognizant of what you're wearing, because sometimes the light will reflect back and it's really visible on camera.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thanks, Victoria. So from Victoria, we can see how important it is to know how to do a self-tape, what technology to use within the self-tape before you even start recording it to set yourself up for success. So after you record your self-tapes set up like she said, now we have to do what's called editing the self-tape. So just like a YouTube video or something, you have to edit your self-tapes before you send them in. Here to talk more about that is my friend Delaney from the program. Okay, so could you please state your name and major?
I am Delaney Teague, and I am an acting major.
Awesome, Delaney. So my question for you is, how do you edit a self-tape?
So after I record all of my videos, I then go into iMovie on my phone and then choose all of the videos that I want to piece together. I add in transitions like fade, so they fade into each one, so it's not so choppy. And then I download that combined video onto my phone, and then I go into YouTube and I upload that video with all of the miniature videos together onto YouTube, and then I title it like general auditions or auditions for whatever show I'm auditioning for, and then I make sure that it is unlisted so that people who have the link can access it, and then I just send the link, and then that's how it's done.
Okay, thanks, Delaney. So as you can see, once again, there's yet another way that technology is so vital to becoming a performer and a BFA major, as not only do you need to know how to film it, but you also need to know how to edit and submit it. So now that we have gone over the basics of how to do a self-tape, I am going to introduce my friend Hazel, who is just going to talk to you a little bit about self-tape etiquette and making sure that that technology is supporting you and helping you within the audition. Could you please state your name and major?
My name is Hazel Kinnersley, and I'm an acting major.
Awesome, Hazel. So my question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about self-tape etiquette?
Absolutely. So you're going to want to include slates before your actual content of the self-tape. And so that's going to include, like, your name, where the piece is from, like if it's a monologue or a song. Sometimes they'll ask you for specific auditions for like other information, like your height or whatevs. You're gonna want to try to edit out like big gaps, like the gaps of like turning on and turning off the camera at the beginning and end of video sections or whatever, and making sure that you stay within like the time parameters that they've set, and that like with the slates included you're still in that section, and then just making sure that they're easily shareable, and yeah, all
Great.
that.
Thanks, Hazel. So I hope that you all who are aspiring to be BFA students can understand now, seeing from BFA students in the Syracuse University program, that the skill of being well-versed in technology is vital nowadays to become a successful theater performer as more and more auditions go virtual. As you can see, whether it be auditioning into the BFA program or being a working actress like me and my friends that you've seen, knowing how to do a self-tape, knowing how to use technology within theater is the key to doing well in a good audition. So I'll end with one more stat, and that is I asked the 7 people who filled out the Google form on a scale of 1 to 10 how important it is to know how to use technology, and there was a resounding 10 out of 10 that you must know how to do this. So once you get it down, it's not that hard, but it is something to know as coming into the professional world, that you're gonna have to be able to do this and get comfortable with it. So I hope this video was helpful, and yeah, signing off. Thanks.